If you've clicked into this podcast episode, there is a very good chance that you can't get that person off of your brain. And the simple fact of you even listening to this podcast episode, you've probably brought up a million ideas of this person in your head by now. We have all been there before. You start to question your own sanity. Why can't you get this person off of your brain? I'm here to tell you, I'm here to give you some tricks, tips on how to stop ruminating about that person that doesn't want anything to do with you, or has clearly moved on, or has told you that they don't want to be with you. Why is it such an obsessive thought? Welcome back to another episode of Way Too Wifey. I'm your host, respectfully Gabby, and in this podcast we talk all things dating and relationships in this modern day. And if you are new here, hi, I'm Gabby. I'm an online dating coach where I help you transform your confidence to live your best lives inside and outside of relationships. It all starts from within you. I promise you, the more you heal, the more you feel like your best self, the more confident you are, the better you will attract in your life. I can absolutely guarantee that because I have been there. I've been in a really fucking low place where I had no self-esteem, no confidence, no boundaries, didn't know what I want. And now today, knowing exactly what I want, having the confidence, being self-assured, the people that come into my life now are significantly different than where I was before. People that would walk all over me, people that would take advantage of me. People now in my life are fucking incredible. They see me for who I am. They love having me in their presence. It took me a long time to figure out the steps to get there, but now that I'm here, I want to help you. If this is something you've ever thought about, book a discovery call with me. I also have some other options you can write in. You can have one session where we talk about whatever you want. The Stan link in my bio. Anyways, you guys, let's move on. Let's get into the episode. We are talking today about that person that you just can't get off of your mind, because we've all been there. I have been there. The last time I was there was the first guy that I met that I really, really, really liked in London. I'm over it now and I feel like really good about putting that to rest. There were some things that needed to happen in order for me to put that at rest. I'm going to walk through today how to get that person off of your mind and why we really should get that person off of your mind, because it's not healthy. It is a distraction. You're going about your life. You're eating dinner with your friends or your family or whoever. You can't even concentrate on the dinner because you're like checking your phone. Is this person going to text me? You're checking your social medias, seeing what he's up to. Meanwhile, you are not present at all in your life. You're at work. You can't even concentrate because you're like, what is that person doing? Is he with someone else? What is he up to? I need to know all of the details. Is he thinking about me? Do we have a future? All of these thoughts come into your head. You're thinking about the past memories you had with them. You're thinking about the potential future that you may or may not have with them. Absolutely exhausting. When I was there back in October, I had a 2-week stint of blissfulness. Like, it was a perfect situation. Then he was basically like, I can't do this. You live in a different country. Okay, I mean, like, that's fair. But then I could not get him off of my brain. And I thought about him for months. And then in December, from October to December, found out he had a girlfriend, a new girlfriend in December. And I was like, wow. Okay, that was super quick. In my head, I had the conclusion that we were like kind of waiting for each other. I had delusional belief that this man was waiting around for me. One day we were going to come together and I would be in London and it would be a beautiful moment. And I had all of this hope in my brain that things would work out in my favor to be together. Delusion fucking killed me because I was out with my family to dinner. I found out that he had a girlfriend at that moment. I literally could not think about anything else. I felt sick. After that, it was good indication for me to move on with my life. I could not for the longest time get this man off of my head. And then when I was back in London, found out that he had broken up with his girlfriend. So we tried to make it work and he basically ghosted me. And I was like, okay, that was all I needed. The disrespect is real. I don't need someone to disrespect me more than 2 times. Understand that this will never go anywhere. At that point, I was like, I'm fucking good here. Like, I never want to see this person again. I never want to entertain this. You're good. I'm good. Move on with my life. You move on with your life. I never want to see you again. There was some things that had to happen for me to basically be slapped in the face like, okay, wake the fuck up, this is not your person. It really didn't have to get to that point. Like the first sign that he showed me that he didn't want to be together, he didn't want to make it work, should be the sign that I should have just dropped it, moved on with my life. But it was so hard for me to actually move on, to actually entertain anyone else, because I thought so highly of this person that basically rejected me. And that leads me into the first point. There's a reason why you're obsessed with this person. It is because rejection breeds obsession. When someone rejects you, or when you reject someone else, you become obsessed with that other person, or that other person becomes obsessed with you. You want to prove to that person, you want to earn that thing back. You feel like you have to work for that thing in order to get them back into your life. It becomes a bit of a challenge to overcome. They rejected me, let me earn them back into my life. And then I will feel so rewarded when I do have them back into my life. And then when you don't have them back, and when things go wrong, almost creates more of an obsession. Now, I actually don't think I could be bothered to be obsessed with anyone. I feel very fucking obsessed with myself. And it's showing in like the people that are showing up in my life. And they're just such healthy dynamics of relationships, friendships, relationships, whatever. It's not codependent. There's not a jealousy. Whereas even like months ago, back end of last year, relationships that I had in my life were a bit codependent, was waking me up to the fact that I was very codependent at the time. And I think the reason why I was so obsessed was because there was so much about me that I still needed to focus on. The more you focus on yourself, your own growth, the more you heal, the less anyone else really matters. Not in a bad way, but oh, that person doesn't like me, I don't care. Oh, that person rejected me, that a person doesn't want to be with me, that really sucks for them. Thoughts start to change into, damn, you missed out, instead of like, I'm missing out on this person. It's a complete 180 in beliefs and how you view yourself. The more you love yourself, I promise you, the less you care about everything else going on. Okay, and why is it always the people that you actually barely know, that you've maybe met once or twice, that you maybe have known for a month or two, that you maybe haven't even met, that will live rent-free on your head? When you know someone for years and years and years, whatever, the obsession isn't as much of a thing because you know who this person actually is. The obsession tends to not be as apparent, whereas when you just meet someone, you're giving them these attributes that you think that they might have given other context clues, which isn't always accurate, if at all accurate. You've painted them out to be this perfect person. You have given them all of the good things, none of the bad things. You have actually put this person on a pedestal, thinking so highly of them without actually bringing them down to earth and seeing them for who they are. You have to start looking at the facts. What is this person actually showing you? Are they showing you consistency? Are they showing you that they are a good person? Are they showing you actually good things? Or are you just making these things up in your head because one time he did this really nice thing for you? I can guarantee you that one really nice thing has absolutely nothing to do with his character. Let that be a consistent thing to actually show his character. When someone does one thing or two things that are really nice or really that you've never experienced before, you start to give more value to those things and those attributes. Like, okay, he's a really good person. Look, he held the door open for me one time. Oh, he's a really good person. He took me to a really nice restaurant once. Oh, he's a really good person. He really likes me because one time he said he's never felt like this before. We start to give these attributes and make decisions for them that they like us more than they actually do. Well, he did this one thing and I don't think that he would do that because I wouldn't do that if I didn't like someone. Well, guys, first of all, are not that deep. We have to start taking them off the pedestal and seeing them for who they actually are. They are a person, and if they have given you signs that they're not interested, told you flat out that they want to break from you, if they've told you flat out that they don't want a relationship, if they've told you maybe that they do want a relationship but right now is not a good time, they don't want to be with you. And we have to start looking at things at face value of, okay, that's where they are at. You're asking him for clarity and he's like not really giving you clarity. See the things for what they actually are. I remember, this probably has to be like the most obsessed that I've ever been with someone, was when I got out of my last relationship. I knew this guy. I met him one time. Literally met once. Maybe he talked for like, I don't know, a couple weeks. For a year, I was obsessed with this person. But it was because the very first time that we met, it was fucking magical. The connection was there. I've never felt so bonded. And I also think the fact that I just got out of a relationship where I didn't feel connected to the person played a big role in it. The rejection that he was giving me, I kid you not, was he would never basically text me. I would always be the one to text him. And we talked maybe once every couple of weeks. The amount of space that he really gave me was too much to really build a foundation. He lied about where he lived. He said that he lived in Miami at the time and really didn't. He was only there temporarily. I was so obsessed that I wanted to move to the city that he lived in. And I had painted him out to be this really cool, really nice, really amazing guy. When he showed me time and time again, he would ignore when I would like spill my feelings to him. He would ignore my text messages when I would like tell him how I was feeling, but then would randomly like drop in and be like, hey, what's up? Like nothing happened. And I would be like, oh my God, I have to hold on to this moment. I would have to make sure that, and he would just out of nowhere stop texting me back. Eventually I like could not do it anymore because I'm like, he clearly does not want me. Sometimes we get so wrapped up in our emotions, giving them attributes that they don't actually have, painting them out to be like, okay, well, I know he really liked me. I'm not crazy. I know he really likes me. But then he's not showing you things someone who really liked you would show. Then it becomes this obsessive thing. No, I know the connection's there. I know it's there. I know it's there. I know he really likes me. And we get so hung up in our heads if we think someone really likes us, but then they're super avoidant, not giving you the time of day, not texting you for weeks at a time, telling you flat out they don't want to be with you. But we're so delusional in our heads thinking he really likes me. Does he really like you? Okay, I get that sometimes we have our own traumas, we have our own things, and we start making excuses like, no, I know he really likes me, but he's avoidant. I know he really likes me, but he grew up with this type of family that abandoned him, and now he's scared to form connections. Like, do you really want to be with someone who's scared to even love you, who's scared to be in your life, who's scared to text you? Like, stop giving excuses for this person. It's not worth it. That person's not worth it. It's just, you're hurting yourself more than you think you are. You're valuing that person's opinion of you so much more than you're valuing your opinion of yourself. You think in your head, if that person decided that they wanted me and they liked me, that challenge, that game that I've worked for to get that person to this point is now I've won this person over. That means that I'm validated, I'm lovable, that I deserve love. When in actuality, if you just accept things at face value, I am lovable regardless of this person, if they see it or not. I deserve good things and I deserve good people in my life. And this person, maybe they have had childhood trauma. Maybe they haven't dealt with it yet. Maybe they're super avoidant, but that's not any excuse to not show up in my life if you want to be in my life. Otherwise, I'm going to leave you where you're at. There's some things you have to work on. I'm not putting myself out there to deal with something where you're uncertain about me in your life, because guess what? The more you entertain that, the more you start to believe about yourself. There's conditions to people loving you, that you might be unlovable, that you might be unworthy of love. The more you keep these people around, the more you start to internally reflect even more of those core wounds that you need to heal of not feeling worthy. So how do you get from absolutely obsessed to I cannot deal with this anymore and I'm going to move on with my life. I'm going to stop thinking about them, because it's not an overnight thing. Like, I can tell you that once you're obsessed with someone, it's like, I actually don't know what to do. There's so many people that come to me with this problem, and I feel like I haven't done a full episode on it. I have done an episode of how to stop obsessing, make them obsess, but I don't go as much in detail as I'm about to get. How to stop obsessing over them. Let's get into it. We have to look at the situation objectively for what it is. Stop painting it for what you think it should be, for what you want it to be, for what it was. Wipe all of those things out of your head. What is it right now? What are the facts? Bring the facts to the table and start to look at this person as an actual human. Stop dehumanizing them. The more you dehumanize them, what do I mean by that? Is stop giving them these attributes that they don't deserve. Stop painting the full picture when they've only given you a little bit to work with. See them for the little bits that they've shown you. Strip down all of these beliefs. Look at the situation objectively. What are they showing you? Because I can almost guarantee you, if you are absolutely obsessed with someone and they have rejected you in some type of way, like they've pulled away a little bit, like they've not shown you as much attention, like they've flat out told you that they don't want you, they are not giving you the attention that you want, look at the situation for what it is. So write down all of the facts. Literally, what are they showing you? Are they showing you inconsistency, which at this point we've established that they are. So write down all of the times where you felt rejected, or times that, they didn't give you what you needed, or times that they've actually shown you that they don't care, that they don't want you. And look at that. Ask yourself, is this person really the person that I want in my life after they flat out rejected me? Because I can almost guarantee you the answer is probably going to be, no, that's not the type of person that I want in my life. Put this person aside, because I can almost guarantee you, most cases, if you're obsessing over someone right now and you're like, I need to get over this, the next person that comes into your life is probably going to be the same exact situation where you start to obsess over someone else. And then that person becomes a little figment of your past. You start to move on with your life. You don't even really think about them as much because you have a new subject to focus on, to obsess over. When in actuality, this is just telling you directly that you need to focus on yourself more. The moment you start to look at the situation objectively, the person objectively, see them for who they actually are, and acceptance is the next step. Accept that person, that they don't want to be in your life. Okay. And I know this part is actually harder because deep down you're like, I know this person really likes me. I know that there's hope. I know. I've seen so many tarot videos. I've seen signs everywhere telling us that we should be together. You guys, we need to stop believing this shit and stop giving it the energy. We need to cut off the oxygen and stop giving it the energy that it should not have. Cut it off. The second that the thought comes into your head of thinking about the past, thinking about the potential future, thinking about what they're doing right now, cut the thought off. Stop giving it the oxygen, because once you have that one thought, then it goes into other little thoughts about the past, the present, the future of this person. The second that that person comes into your head, redirect that thought to something else. Like immediately think about them and then switch the thought to something else. The more that you train your brain, it's not easy, okay? The more that you train your brain though, those neural pathways will start to go in a different direction and you'll stop thinking about them as much. I promise you, it actually works if you put your mind to it, but you have to cut off the oxygen. Next step, stop dating. Because so first London guy, I was like, I need to put myself back out there because I cannot think about this guy anymore. He clearly has a relationship. He's clearly moved on. I need to move on to something else. So I started dating this really fucking toxic, the most toxic guy that I think I've ever talked to. Like actually, I think I've ever talked to. And I knew in my head that it was toxic, but I was like, I'm literally doing this so I can get this other guy off my brain. I understand that this is not my forever person. I understand that this is toxic. I'm not investing my feelings into it, but I need to get this other person off of my head. And you know what happened? I'm sure you can probably guess what happened. I did start to catch feelings a little bit for this guy. When it ended, it was so bad that I was like, okay, yeah. I was able to get myself out of it, but I would still think, and then immediately when he left, guess who popped back into my brain and would obsess over again? The same London guy from the first time. Yeah. So when you date someone else and trying to get another person off of your brain, you're only going to start to obsess over something else when in actuality, your life is telling you to focus on yourself. Like focus on your own needs. It's only going to feed into your pattern that you don't feel worthy, that you don't feel good enough when you haven't fully worked on those wounds yourself. You're only attracting people that will make you want to obsess over them. And then lastly, this is kind of like a woo-woo kind of thing, but I've done this before and I promise you it's actually madness how much it works. I'm talking about cord cutting, you guys. If you've heard about it before, you know where I'm going with this, you know what I'm talking about. But if you've not heard of cord cutting, it's like when your souls are so connected, you want to cut the cord. You want to give that person their energy back and reclaim your energy back to yourself. I think this is so important. If you believe in like energetic woo-woo shit, this is so gold. So there's things that you can look at on YouTube. There's like videos, meditations, whatever. But if you just want to sit and do this on your own, you can do this by yourself. Just sit there, close your eyes, do a little meditation, breathing in and out for a little bit. And then start to picture that person standing right in front of you and start to think that there's like a cord that is connected, an energetic cord that is connecting you to this person. And then when you're ready, take the scissors and cut the cord and then say like, you know, I'm giving you your energy back. Thank you for what you've taught me, but I'm ready to reclaim my energy. Something like that. Fully take back your energy. Like, I'm now stepping into my power. I am now reclaiming my energy. I'm reclaiming my power back. Everything that you need to say, and then just let it be. Because I can almost guarantee you every time that I've done this, and sometimes I'm not even able to do it because in the past, there's been times where I haven't even been able to do it, or I've fallen asleep and I'm still the next day like so obsessed with this person. But I can almost guarantee you there is a little bit, if even just a sliver, any little progress to cut that person out of your life. Because if they are meant to be in your life and you so wholeheartedly believe that that person is supposed to be in your life, then cool. Right now, it's not it. Right now is not the time, because they've shown you that now is not the time. Let them go off, do their own thing, heal. And if that person is supposed to be in your life, you will know, because they will make that very apparent. But I can almost guarantee you 9 times out of 10, when these situations happen and you become absolutely obsessed with someone, I know this is supposed to be my person. The connection is unreal. 9 times out of 10, you guys, it is because you need to focus more on yourself and healing those wounds. And the second that you do, by the way, the second that you start to feel good about yourself and you start to feel more confident and you reclaim your energy and your power back, the second that you do, that person comes crawling back randomly and you're like, not interested. Every time this has happened to me, I swear that person has come back and I'm like, I'm not interested anymore. No, thank you. I've moved on. This is not something I want to entertain anymore. I don't even find you attractive. I don't know how I ever found you attractive. But that's actually such a good moment too, because you're like, wow, I have healed so much that this person is so irrelevant. And I used to obsess over this crusty, dusty ass person that I put on a pedestal when in actuality, they were beneath me. Okay. So stop putting that person on a pedestal. They are not worth it. Focus on yourself. Give yourself all of the love and attention. Everything that you want to give that person, give to yourself. Pour into yourself. Make yourself the best you. Cut the cord and move on. Because if that person, again, is supposed to be in your life, it will, maybe it's not right now, maybe it's in the future, but the more you're waiting around and giving that person the energy of it'll happen, I know it's going to happen. You're waiting around, you're blocking other opportunities. It will never flow into your life naturally when you are so preoccupied about that person and obsessed with bringing them back into your life. Give this time now to move on with your life and focus on yourself, because right now it's not it. Right now, it's not going to happen. And stop thinking about the potential future, because at the moment, they've proven to you that they don't want you. So take it for what it is and move on. And if at all in the future, you're past the line again, it will happen. Otherwise, lay it to rest. Right. Anyway, that's it for this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got some kind of value out of this. And also, if you want to focus on healing that internal wound of not being worthy, feeling like you're enough, that is primarily what I focus on in my 8-week program. So book a call with me. That is it for this week's episode. I will see you all next Tuesday. Thanks so much.